unicorns is like what I like to call them. He's born in Nashville and still here. There aren't many of us in that category anymore. He was a member of the football team and the Owen Graduate School of Management. He now is a Monroe Harding board member, and he's the founder and president of Rose Creek Wealth Management. Please welcome Mr. Reggie Ford.
Thank you, Pam. First, I just want to say congratulations to each of y'all. Like, to make it to this point right here, I know what it takes. And the determination, the grit, everything that y'all put in, like, it should not be belittled, it should not be overlooked. So recognize that, feel proud of yourself. This moment right here is big. It's real. Today I want to talk, and I want the theme of, I'm going to tell you what the theme is going to be, but I want you to keep that theme in the back of your mind as I talk, because everything is going to relate to that. And the theme is this: your future reality begins with current thoughts. Okay? Your future reality begins with current thoughts. Keep that in your mind. And in that, we're going to talk about three key things. One, the limitations. Limitations that the world places on us, limitations that we place on ourselves. Then we're going to talk about the power of perspective, how you look at things. I'm looking at it from this view, that view, wide or myopic. And then finally, there's an unrelenting belief that I want everyone in here to possess, not just the graduates, but everyone, because I think this unrelenting belief has helped me get to the places that I've been. The limitations. Limitations are self-imposed. We put those limitations on ourselves. The world's gonna say what they're gonna say. Other people are gonna say what they're gonna say. But at the end of the day, inside our hearts and inside our minds, we know what we can and cannot do. And there are not many things that you can't do. Just look at y'all right now. And at one point in my life, my greatest measure of success was to be in y'all shoes right here. To graduate high school and not have a kid before then. Because that was my reality from my parents and my grandparents. And I was the first person in my family to graduate. So that was something that was huge for me. I was like, I gotta make it to that point. But that was the cap. That was all that I had in my mind that I was gonna achieve, is graduate with kids, and I achieved that. But what if I didn't have that limiting belief? What if my greatest thought at that moment as a kid was, I'm gonna go and be president of the United States? Then I would have hated that and even more. So remember, those limiting beliefs are self-imposed. And my parents, so my mom had me at 14 years old. My dad was in prison for most of my childhood. And I remember the trips to visit my dad in prison. And I would be so excited to go. I would be super excited to get there. But as we got closer and closer, and then I finally saw the prison building, saw the barbed wires across, and I saw these big gates, and all these gates that I had to walk through, 2, 3, 4 gates, buzzers and everything, just before I could see my dad. And I remember thinking as an 8, 9-year-old, this ain't no way for a person to live, because physically he was limited. He couldn't leave those prison walls. As a 9-year-old, I recognized that. One thing I failed to recognize was the limiting mindset that I had when it came to bigger things than the physical space. And so, I'll tell a story about one time I played college football at Vanderbilt, as Ms. Pam said. And I had a coach come up to me one day. I was catching punts in warm-ups. Catching punts, and this is fresh out of the locker room, and you don't warm up. You just go out there and you start running around catching punts. So I tell coach, I got to stretch first. Like I ain't ready for this. And he looked at me and he said, Reggie, you ever seen a cheetah stretch? I looked, I'm like, I'm not a cheetah, like. But when I started thinking about it, You don't see cheetah stretch. And wow, they just go. They go get it. And I started doing research and realized that stretching doesn't even prevent the injuries that I thought I was doing when I was stretching. Proper warm up and things like that. So in my mind, I had made all the way to Vanderbilt. One of my dream schools, playing on the football team, the SEC. But I was limiting myself to, I can't go catch a ball that I've done a million times because I ain't stretched it. Have you ever seen a cheetah stretch? So what I want you all to realize is that you all can be that cheetah. The limiting beliefs that you may have right now. I can't do it because I'm a mother. I can't do it because I don't have this degree. I can't do it because of whatever. That's self-imposed. You can do anything you set your mind to. And the naysayers, the doubters, the people who tell you that you can't, I mean absolutely nothing. Let that be fuel to make you go harder. And recognize the limiting beliefs that you set on yourself. Because right now, I'm gonna affirm this right now. I believe in each and every one of you. And you will accomplish all the beliefs you got right now, all the goals you done set for yourself right now, you're gonna accomplish those. So how can you dream bigger? How can you dream bigger? I want you to place that, again, going back to our theme, your future reality begins with your current thoughts. The next thing I want to talk about is perspective. And perspective is everything. I had a dream a couple months ago. This is true life. I had a dream and I was speaking in front of a large audience, big old audience. And I was doing well at first, and then all of a sudden, everybody started leaving. Millions be just running out the door, throwing stuff at me, booing me and everything. It's like, what'd I do? And as I see all these people leave, and I notice like it's some stillness in the room. There's one person sitting to my right that hadn't left, and they were sitting there still listening to everything that I was saying. Right? And my perspective was similar to my perspective in life. I was abandoned. Pop's gone. Mom was in. I was abandoned because I'm looking at all these people leaving. But if I shift my perspective and look at this person who ain't budged, who's holding on to my every word, then I feel loved. I feel supported. I feel that somebody cares. So remember that it's all about perspective. Had I continued to look at that door and all those people flood out, I would continue to feel abandoned, rejected, unwanted, unloved. I know some of us can relate to that. I want you to look at the people in your life. There may be some people who have left. There may be some people who you think ought to be there to support you. Somebody you won't hear right now that ain't here. But look at all the people that are here. Family or not, it's people up here who love you, who are proud of you, and want to see you succeed. Shift your perspective, and you'll shift your reality. Life is all about perspective. Bad things will happen. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that they're not. But you don't have to respond negatively to those bad things. The last thing, one of the last things I want to talk about is that unrelenting belief. And I want to challenge everybody in here to have this unrelenting belief that tomorrow will be better than today. Unrelenting belief that tomorrow will be better than today. And that doesn't mean that today's bad, right? Today's a celebration. But what if you get 5 years down the line, you're like, the best thing that's ever happened to me was that graduation 5 years ago. 10 years. 10 years ago, it's the best thing. Right? We need hope. We need to know that the future's gonna be better than right now. Because that's how we keep driving. That's how we keep going. So you gotta put that intention in your mind that tomorrow is gonna be better than today. If you took a snapshot of my life at birth, right? Little kid, going to the 14-year-old mom. My grandma was 29 years old when I was born. Younger than I am right now. And growing up in poverty, Section 8 to Section 8, food stamps, all that, right? You take a picture of that kid, gangs and drugs and everything around him, and then you take a picture of where I am today, founder and president of a wealth management company. People give me millions of dollars to tell them what to do with it. The kid that didn't grow up with no money, people do that. People have paid me to do things that you will never believe. I've been featured in Forbes. I got a best-selling book. All these things. You take a snapshot of that picture as a kid, you'll never, I got humans too. And you take a snapshot of me today, it's hard to draw that line, right? Some of y'all got stories like that. Many of y'all probably got stories like that. But your past has no reflection on where you're gonna be in the future. Your future reality begins with your current thoughts. Right now. Right now. And at a young age, right? What got me from that point to this point? Many things. Again, the support system, the people who love me, so many opportunities I was blessed with. But I always possessed an unrelenting belief that tomorrow will be better than today. Always. So you all are gonna go out and do amazing things. I have no doubt in my mind about that. One thing's gonna be different, right? The magnitude of those things is gonna be different. The timing of those things is gonna be different. Somebody gonna go out and start a company next year. Y'all looking like, I ain't doing it. You're gonna compare yourself. Let me tell you right here and right now. Comparison is the enemy to happiness. Comparison is the enemy to happiness. Social media, you know, we see people's highlights, right? Any athletes, we see people's highlight tapes and we compare it to our practice tapes. We know what our life's like, but we only see their highlights. You don't see the stress, you don't see the crying, you don't see the blood, but you see the highlights. So don't go out and compare yourself to other graduates, to other people in the world. Compare yourself to the you of yesterday. The you of yesterday is the only person you're competing with. You want to make sure that every action, every step, every decision, every choice that you make is a little bit better than the day yesterday. Because that's how you ensure that tomorrow will be better than today. Incremental steps. Right? Tyra talked about the friends you hang around, the negativity and all that. Right? All of that has an impact. You got a choice every second of every day. 1 second from now is the future, right? You know, 1 second from now is the future. 2 seconds from now, that 1 second will be the past. The future and past come that quick. That quick. So it's imperative that we act now and that we do right now what we want, because our current actions impact our future and our past that quick. That quick. All we have is now. And I want to read an excerpt from my book that relates and ties back to a lot of things that I've been talking about. It's not the adversity that defines you. The defining moment is how you respond to that adversity. Rather than avoiding it, embrace the struggle. Embrace the struggle. And feel the pain. Because the pain is the first step in the process. As you suffer through the pain, you'll discover your passion. Like Tyra started talking about it. You know? What is it that you want to do? You gotta find that. A lot of times, the pain that we go through leads us to our passion. I want to help people with their money because I grew up without it and I know how that hurts. You got doctors who want to go be heart surgeons because their mom died of heart disease. That pain led to that passion. And your passion will force you to fight, not only against what has caused you pain, but for what your ultimate purpose is in life. And once you discover your purpose and begin to live in it, begin to walk in it, you'll soon regain your power. And after you regain your power, you'll find yourself on your way to peace. You're gaining power over yourself. Getting rid of those limiting thoughts. You're gaining power over the outside world. Because there's always going to be a headache. And after you find your peace, you're on your way. So pain to process. Or pain to passion. Passion to purpose. Purpose to power. And power to peace. That's the process of perseverance. Again, if you don't remember anything that I said today, remember that theme that we talked about. Your future reality begins with your current thoughts. Dream big with no limitations. Be the cheetah. Shift your perspective and watch your reality shift as well. Above all, everyone, above all, always possess an unrelenting belief that tomorrow will be better than today. I'm so proud of y'all. For real. Congratulations.